Janelle Grant isn't the only one in professional wrestling to be shat on, as Scott D'Amore has been fired from his position as the president of TNA. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and I did not expect this. I did not see this coming. I had no idea that Scott D'Amore's job was under threat. I thought Scott D'Amore was TNA, this new watered-down crap version of TNA that we have in 2024. I thought Scott D'Amore bled TNA, I thought he believed TNA, and I thought TNA and Anthem also believed in Scott D'Amore. But apparently that's not true, because out of nowhere, Anthem Sports have announced this morning that Scott D'Amore has been fired from his position as president of TNA and will be replaced by Anthony Sassone. This comes after TNA held its most successful weekend in years with Hard to Kill. Look, I'm not going to say that I think TNA has been great since it came back. I know it's only been a few weeks. I'm not going to say I've been impressed. I think it's been almost unwatchable, like a lot of wrestling is these days. But for Scott D'Amore to stand by this company and to, be the... I'm not going to say he was the heart that was pumping the blood into it, but this guy obviously cares about TNA. He believes in TNA. He cut that promo where he was embarrassing himself and crying and talking about being on deathbeds, but he doesn't care who's about to pass away because it's all about TNA. I mean, that promo, as much as I thought it was embarrassing, it did come from the heart, so therefore it felt real. It felt pathetic, and to me, Scott D'Amore is a little bit pathetic, so it was legit, and I just can't believe they fired him. I think something will come out. I cannot believe that they've just woke up one day and thought, you know what, we're going to get rid of Scott D'Amore, and there has to be more to this. We will read the statement in a minute, but for me, I think there is some more news that's going to break, because I just don't think TNA would randomly... I think if they were going to do this, they would have got rid of him before the rebranch and the relaunch of TNA. It makes no sense for them to rebrand as TNA, then like 3 weeks later decide, you know what, Scott D'Amore, you're out of here, you're done.
Yeah, he seemed monumental in the comeback of TNA. I think you're right. I think there's going to be some form of allegation or some sort of something. I don't even know what's going to come out about him. He's into some weird shit. Proving with Gazelle Shaw, that's the one.
Imagine Rick Steiner replaced him and he just stole her contract.
How great would that be?
Her money in the...
I'll tell you what, I think it's safe to say that's her wee push at the windy.
Yeah, Gazelle Shaw, will they no longer be positioned as... a top person in the women's division? Will they be put back to the men's division? Who knows what's going to happen? But this is the statement that TNA released today. So, Anthony Sassone named president of TNA Wrestling. Anthem Sports and Entertainment Incorporate, a global multi-platform media company, announced today the appointment of Anthony Sassone as the president of TNA Wrestling. The move aims to further integrate TNA Wrestling into Anthem's entertainment group, of which Sassone is the president, leveraging the entire company's resource to add more value in areas including production, distribution, marketing, viewership, customer acquisition, digital revenue streams, ad sales and sponsorships, digital tech, operations and more. Sassone replaces Scott D'Amore, whose contract with Anthem has been terminated. D'Amore has been a part of TNA since 2003. He held many key leadership positions and played a vital role in the growth of the company, leading to its strong industry reputation today, including the successful return of TNA Wrestling brand in 2024. Anthem thanks him for the commitment he brought to the business, the talent, and the people who work outside the ring. In addition to these duties as president of entertainment, Sassone will now manage the day-to-day business operations for TNA Wrestling. He brings more than 30 years of executive-level management experience to the organisation. Sassone has been with Anthem for the last 16 years, managing technical operations in multiple cable and digital channels. Prior to his time with Anthem, Sassone was a producer of sports content, including catapulting the Score to success by bringing WWE to the channel. End of quote. So that is the statement that was made. What's your thoughts on that? What's the key thing you take from that? And can you come to a conclusion why D'Amore was replaced?
Honestly, I look at it, I can't really see why Damore's been replaced, but it's not like they're replacing away a guy that doesn't really know what he... I mean, this other guy's been here for 16 years, so he's got longevity on his side, knows what he's clearly doing.
Now, apparently he's already the president of Anthem's entertainment group, so could it be them just wanting... Could it be them getting rid of Scott D'Amore? It frees up a wage, and maybe they felt like this Sassone guy could do Scott D'Amore's job, and therefore there was no point keeping Scott D'Amore around.
True, but could Scott D'Amore not be kept as like an on-screen personality? Could that not work?
You'd think so.
I think termination spells disaster for you at Sacrifice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could see it if he was stepping down or being demoted, or like you said, just being going to be used as a TNA employee going forward. But for the guy to be fired completely from the company, that is very strange. So, also, according to PW Insider, Anthem is set to significantly increase its involvement in the daily management and direction of TNA. The aim is to foster a closer relationship between TNA and Anthem, leveraging the strengths of each other to benefit the other. As part of this restructuring, D'Amore has been removed from his position with immediate effect. The reports state that TNA personnel and wrestlers will be briefed today regarding Scott D'Amore's departure. There has been murmurs of potential changes within the company for several weeks, particularly after Anthem executives including Sassone and Ariel Shiner, Vice President of Business Development, began engaging with TNA staff, roster members to gain insights into the promotion's operations and gather feedback. While this outreach raised eyebrows among some observers due to its departure from the norm, it seems Anthem was preparing for organisational shifts and familiarising itself with TNA's inner workings in the absence of D'Amore. At present, D'Amore is the sole executive to have departed the company, although further changes may occur in the future. I mean, could it be Anthem maybe think that TNA is gaining a bit of success? Maybe they're gaining momentum, and Anthem just decide that they want to have like a closer impact, that they want to basically decide
impact.
Pun intended, they want to decide how TNA is going to go forward. Could that be what it is?
It could be, but what I think is also key is maybe they just think that Scott D'Amore's took them as far as he can take them, and they need someone else better.
I just don't see how they can make that conclusion after a couple of weeks of TNA rebranding.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like they just want control rather than being the parent company or whatever, or the owning TNA. It's almost like they now want to decide the direction that TNA goes in, and they want to control TNA. They want to micromanage TNA, and obviously they can do that if they appoint their own guy as president rather than Scott D'Amore. That's what it seems like to me.
Well, either way, TNA is not going to be saved or going to go down the shitter because of this. It seems like it'll never die. Is it going to get much better, TNA, because of this? Are you even going to notice it? I mean, I guess Scott D'Amore does appear on screen, so there's that element that's out the window, but realistically, if they want to just keep a closer...
I don't think the big issue is him appearing on screen. I think the big issue is the direction of the company and what's going to change. And on that note, guys, we're going to leave it there. Let us know what you think down below about Scott D'Amore. Like I said, big news. Big news in terms of a big shocker. At the end of the day, it's TNA. Not many people watch it. Not many people care. But I did not expect to see Scott D'Amore be fired from his position at TNA. Will it just be a case of Anthem wanting to have a closer control? Do they want to decide the direction of TNA going forward? Or will we find out maybe that Scott D'Amore has been involved in something shady, and will there be allegations against Scott? You don't know. In 2024, anytime somebody gets fired or steps away, it's almost like you expect something else to follow.
Well, if it's Giselle Shaw, what's she going to be tried as? A man or a woman?
And on that note, guys, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.